Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hope you're doing well. Let us read more of these stories in the AmericanHunter.org magazine concerning the armed citizen, and we're in the March 2024 issue. I think I have several others. I just want to make sure I put them on here. I do save them, but some of them I'm gonna upload, annotate, and then put them in the recycle bin. I also do let my eldest scan through it and read things herself. There's hunting facts, all kinds of stuff in this educational magazine, and I would like to show you people who use the Second Amendment to their benefit, liberals especially, really highlight the negative, so I want to show the positive. Let's begin. Bismillah. A man, his girlfriend, and their 2 children were getting out of their vehicle outside the Denver Museum of Nature and Science on December 31st, 2023, when 2 armed men charged them. The suspects reportedly grabbed the man and demanded the silver chain around his neck, but then struck him in the back of the head. The man drew his own firearm and pointed it at the suspects, who fired at him, and he fired back. The alleged assailants fled, firing back at the family as they went, fortunately not striking anyone. Later, a car, which matched the description of the suspects fled in, dropped off a man at the hospital whose clothing matched the security footage from the museum. The man was reported as medically unresponsive, but faced several charges, including attempted first-degree murder, should he recover. The other person from the vehicle was not apprehended at the time of the report. Denver7.com, Denver, Colorado, 1/2/24. So, your family going to the Museum of Nature and Science, some thugs come up, try to rob you, and your firearm makes them scurry away like the rats they are. This is another example of criminals will not have any mercy towards your children. So when a liberal tells you, prison should be about reform, we shouldn't have hard labor camps, prisoners need all these soft, cushiony things, ask yourself, does a leopard change their spots? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes the dots just connect. A 31-year-old concealed carry permit holder was outside in Chicago, Illinois on December 9th, 2023, when 2 men in a vehicle pulled up near him and allegedly started shooting for unknown reasons. One of the bullets struck the victim in the chest, but the man drew his own firearm and shot back, striking both assailants and killing one. The victim was hospitalized in fair condition. The investigation was still ongoing. CBSNews.com, Chicago, Illinois, 12/10/23. So notice, tit for tat. They shot at him. Yes, he took one to the chest, but he was able to rid the world of one felon by having his Second Amendment, which is great justice. Clean the streets. Citizens should have the right to defend themselves. Always. An armed robber entered a gas station, convenience store, December 21st, 2023, around 1 a.m. in South Bend, Indiana, and demanded money from the clerk at gunpoint. When the man got into an altercation with the clerk, a customer believed the clerk to be in danger of his life. So he drew his firearm and fatally shot the assailant. The would-be robber managed to flee the store, but collapsed nearby. The store's security footage quickly confirmed the armed citizen's account of events, and the prosecutor was able to tell reporters the same day that the shooting was justified in defense of someone's life, and they would not seek to press charges. WNDU.com, South Bend, Indiana. Okay. Another example of a good guy with a gun doing something about it, caring about his fellow citizen, and ridding the world of a disgusting criminal. Okay? Or at least damaging him. And a criminal, how many times will they risk getting shot before they decide this isn't for me or it's worth dying for? Everyone's disarmed, the criminal has easy pickings because it is not hard to get an illegal weapon. Just is not hard. Okay? And it's important for good people who obey the laws, care about the laws, to be able to have the reward of self-defense shall not be infringed. Okay? And gas station workers are often immigrant run, and it is very sad that citizens will often rob immigrant run gas stations. They come for the American dream, and the American nightmares come to take their life. On New Year's Day, a masked man allegedly entered a Taco Bell in Akron, Ohio, pulled out a gun and fired at an employee behind the counter. Oh my goodness. Oops. At a Taco Bell, fam. Another employee, a 21-year-old man, drew his own gun and fired back at the assailant, striking him in the chest. The would-be robber then fled with some of the money, only to show up at the hospital a short time later. Another man who drove him to the hospital, and who was apparently involved in the incident in some way, was arrested. The wounded suspect was in stable condition and was expected to face charges upon release. The police chief said, to some degree, he could have saved or prevented someone from being seriously injured or killed, himself or others. News 5, Cleveland.com, Cleveland, Ohio. So, notice, you're working at a Taco Bell, and a crazy person comes and tries to cause drama, tries to hurt you. And a person there fires back, gets that guy a slug to the chest. At a Taco Bell, there's been compilations of videos where fast food workers get attacked, even at the drive-thru. Okay? And where customers go in, they start throwing things on the ground, grabbing the computer module, throwing it. They have different convenience items on the counter, they push it on the floor. It's crazy how disrespectful and unruly people really are. And when you mix in a criminal in that, there'll be a problem. So, you're at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, you're at the gas station, you're at Taco Bell. Criminals, they coming. They're just trying to do their crime, and you gotta not back down. A store owner and concealed carry license holder in Chicago, Illinois, arrived at her convenience store business the morning of January 4th, only to discover several robbers inside. The intruders reportedly fired shots at her, so she fired back, causing them all to flee. The store security video shows the robbers breaking the glass front door and taking money from the registers. And the store owner said it was the second robbery in a week. ABC7Chicago.com, Chicago, Illinois. Second robbery in a week. Chicago has made it very hard for good citizens to have firearms, and criminals still have access to firearms. America has a huge gang thing, alright? And so they like to rob and destroy. Small businesses suffer with high crime. Liberals said defund police. Liberals said reduce the Second Amendment. Alright? Liberals said legalize, tax, and regulate all drugs, which leads to people wanting to have more access to drugs, and then getting addicted, and then running out of money, so they do crimes to get more money for drugs. Okay? More drugs in circulation equals more consumption. It's really quite sad. how Democrats, liberals, and progressives make crime worse. In Houston, Texas, a woman was leaving an apartment complex the morning of January 6 when two armed people allegedly pulled her back out of her pickup truck and held guns to her head. A friend of hers heard the commotion, came out of his apartment. Seeing the situation, he shot one of his assailants, killing him. The other would-be robber fled. I think I read this one. This was actually in the last magazine, too. ABC13.com, Houston, Texas. So, you're just a woman coming out of your apartment, minding your own business. It's in the morning. Thugs coming up, trying to harm you. Male chaperones matter, and your male chaperone, your wali, your husband, your father, your brother, your uncle, your male cousin, having a firearm, permit to carry, is a good thing. You have a good neighbor, he's someone who has a concealed carry permit, he protects you, this is a good thing. Criminals need you to be vulnerable. Criminals need you to be unarmed. Criminals need you to be a pacifist. They need you to fear being strong. Liberals are so afraid that if you post a video of you cleaning a gun, they will shit their pants, convulse, call you a terrorist, and freak out. You know, if a niqabi is by a whole pretty horse and has an AR over her shoulder, they'll say terrorist. But if you're at a Jewish wedding and you have the bride has a weapon and the groom has a weapon, well, that's just cool. Or for two Christians getting married in the countryside and they have the someone in the crowd has a firearm on them, that's Americana. So gun culture often has a tricky lens in America about who gets to be pro Second Amendment, when I'd argue that liberals, they push thug music, Hollywood pushes gang movies that glorify it, and, well, this leads to people being afraid of guns and misusing guns, when we should have more John Wayne-esque action movies that promote responsible use of firearms, and start censoring you. Like YouTube will censor you if, like, I did an unboxing video of a camping knife that's used for like trimming wood. It's something very sharp and very useful, and it has like a metal part on the back where if you need to like break something, you know, smash a pine cone or whatever. And YouTube flagged it as a dangerous item. And it's like, really? You have music videos that promote drug use and gang violence. But if I'm unboxing a camping item and this is somehow dangerous, so it's very strange how liberals are. They make fun of you if you say ban certain types of music and music videos, because they say that music video is harmless, that music is harmless. But if you do an unboxing video of a firearm or of a camping item, suddenly this is just really, really bad. It's really mind-blowing. A woman's best friend isn't a diamond. It's the Second Amendment. A woman in Blair, Wisconsin called 911 to report that a man had kicked in a door of her home around 1:15 a.m. on January 1st. The woman's husband shot the intruder after he entered the house. The suspect was transported to the hospital by ambulance, but his condition was not otherwise reported. Police discovered that the alleged home invader had also broken into another residence where no one was home. The investigation was still ongoing. WQOW.com, Eau Claire, Wisconsin. 1 a.m. Breaks in. You call 911. How long is it going to take him to get there? Someone can choke you out. As a woman, you're in your home, you're in your safe space. Home invasion happens. Again, if the man would not have been armed, and the criminal was armed, who knows what he would have done to that woman in front of her husband. So, this is another example of time and time again, I'm telling people, just because your wife is in the house doesn't mean danger won't come to her. Some women have to learn to be mature, get educated, get informed, how to be responsible, not to be a ditzy-brained idiot, and recognize you live in a violent country. Danger can find you. You're supposed to tie your camel. Do the right thing, be prepared, and have a husband who's masculine enough to know his way around a firearm. It surprises me when women don't want to learn themselves and their husband's an effeminate beta boy who doesn't want to learn either. And you're like, you both are unfit to be parents. Your job is to defend the life of your children. Criminals don't care about your liberal softness. That's an advantage. Okay? Does the cheetah complain that the gazelle has a broken leg? I think not. Okay? A toothless tiger that is also clawless. Man, is he really that scary? Firearms are our tools. You need to make sure that you follow the law, follow the rules, and be weary of the scare tactics of progressives, liberals, and Democrats and leftists. Okay? Because you're going to call, and how quickly that criminal comes in is going to change things. It's good for the criminal to be afraid to enter your home. A criminal should think to themselves, is this worth dying for? But if they know you're not armed, easy pickings. Easy pickings. You got chickens, you're using your words at the coyote. You don't have a guard dog, you don't have a firearm, it's just going to stare at you, maybe take your chicken and go. Come back next week for more. The rooster protects the hens. You got no rooster, you let them out, or a fox finds its way into the fox hole that it made, and you don't have a firearm to shoot it. Win-win for the predator. You lose. Okay? Being soft on a criminal is irresponsible. Okay? You need to fortify yourself. Fortify your mind. Fortify your home. Make it hard for criminals to do what they want to do. Okay? Don't be like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, occasional Cortex, who says they just want bread, we need to think about reform, they're just desperate. Some people are just evil and like being evil and don't really care, and the only way they'll change is if they get a serious hollow point wake-up call. Alright? And if they die, it doesn't really matter. The earth is cleansed of a bug, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to deal with them. Less criminals in the world is better for the world. I'm not talking about someone who's done something petty. They should be punished too. Home invasions are a serious crime. Kids will be traumatized for life. I've had someone try to break in through my window. I'll tell you, as a woman, you don't sleep the same again. And if that hasn't happened to you, you should shut your mouth and think about what would you be like afterwards. Like a woman who's been raped, she can't forget that. She moves on, she lives her life, she still has moments where she laughs at a comedy on Netflix or something, but she operates differently within the world. And if she's smart, she will warn women of certain things, certain red flags, areas of town you don't go to, situations you don't put yourself in, right? Cautionary tales exist for a reason. Okay? So when you read stories like this and you listen to them, make sure you're doing what you can in your personal life. Okay? A felon wants an easy target. Don't be an easy target. Okay? More women staying home means more eyes in the community. Someone sees someone breaking into your property, they're calling, you're calling, bonus. Okay? You have a neighbor guy, he's trimming up the grass or whatever. He sees a criminal breaking into your home, he's got a firearm, he comes to help you. Win-win. Criminals, scooping out your neighborhood, trying to see who's next. And then he sees so-and-so's outside, someone's doing this over there. He sees too many people in the community, too many eyes. He's not going to do it, right? So community building, community safety, neighborhood security, all these things matter. You as a woman are to guard your husband's property, okay? Don't just let anyone in. Be careful who you invite over to your house. Don't let everyone know where you live. You don't know if one of your friends is friends with a criminal. They're going to scope out your stuff, jack you. Be smart. And this person entered a Taco Bell. Some places you shouldn't go in certain communities, right? I know some restaurants that they're banging good, but I'm not gonna go there. Like In-N-Out in Oakland, they closed the location. Great food. Too much crime. People were getting carjacked. People were getting robbed in the parking lot. It was just dangerous. All right? You can't go eat there because too much crime. You gotta be smart. You gotta be careful. So, be safe. Make dua. May Allah protect us. And may Allah rid the world of these criminals. And hell is a place for those who have earned it. Take care, fam, and see you next time. If you'd like to support my work, you can do so via my blog, which is www.subscribestar.com/MilahanArchive. Hope to see you there.